Now, students of the University of Lagos this week went up in arms against the school authorities over the sudden hike in school fees from 19,000 naira to 190,000 naira. Similar protests in different forms and sizes have also taken place in a number of the nation's universities. Arise News analyst Dayo Sobowale joins us now to discuss these waves of protests and what measures are needed to ensure equal access to university education by people from various strata of society. Good to have you on Newsday. Good afternoon, Mr. Sobowale.
Pleasure to be here, Caesar.
I'm sure this is far from pleasing for you. We know you're an advocate of free education. So what measures would you like to see in order to tackle what we have on ground?
Right. The last time we discussed, we were told that the federal government has freed the universities, as it were, giving them autonomy to look for funds. Well, that is one part of it. But you see, this protest, I don't think that sort of funding will arrest it. The important thing is for government to subsidize education. If it does not, there will be more protests. There will be people dropping out of school. There will be youths roaming about. That is an invitation to chaos, and it's an invitation to the disappearance of law and order. So it is in the interest of government to do something. But you see, the students, they have just started school. I'm sure many of them, even though they don't have school fees, they will go to school because they have no alternative. The alternative time. So government has to do something. You see, I was looking at our budget over the years, 2021 to 2022. You see, advanced, welfareist, well-to-do countries, Europe, America, Japan, Latin America, they spend a certain percentage of their GDP, you get me, on education. And they have seen the results. ASU has called on government to do something because, according to it, the university is not a corporate body out to make profit. It is supposed to make education free. The students should be the concern of government. Because if they allow the increases, which in some cases are even 100%, which was unthinkable before they went on holidays, and since the ASU has resumed, something must be done. If they were able to settle ASU, there's no reason why they cannot subsidize what students will pay. And I think the students' union governments, you see, in the universities, I don't think they are as strong as they were when I was in school. Otherwise, they will literally sack the campuses, and then there will be nothing going on. And without students, without lecturers having a way to get to the lecture room to do the teaching and research and whatever they have to do, there is no university life. But it is dangerous for our future and for posterity for us to ignore the education for our people. And it is not as if you have not been planning for education before. I remember some time ago, even though we spoke about digital economy yesterday or the day before yesterday, Nigeria at a point in time created 5 federal universities of technology all over the country. They are still there. And I think they have about the university with the lowest school fee right now. They say it's ABU and Federal University of Technology, Akure. But like ASU said, and like I said earlier, the university is not a profit-making enterprise. It is a sort of weapon to defend, to promote the growth and education of an environment. If you don't invest in it, we will not, we will rue it, we will regret it. So the onus to me is on government to intervene, just like it did with the fuel subsidy, which, of course, it was corruption that made the fuel subsidy a burden on the economy. Governments must provide relief for its people, because that's welfare. A government should be welfareist, and I believe this new government is welfareist. Universities, National University Commission, although it does not fix fees, but it controls the universities. It should convene a meeting of the vice chancellors. Like we said the other time, we said they should go and look for
creative ways to raise funding.
And they should go to corporate bodies. But then in the past, I think universities were doing consultancies, engineering, medicine, accountancy. Maybe now is the opportunity for them. They teach people to be professionals in various something. The government should allow them to compete with corporate bodies so that they can do consultancy and raise some funds. But what is on the ground now is different. The universities have just resumed, and the students are roaming the streets. They can get violent, and they can cause a lot of havoc. We have a committee of vice chancellors. Maybe they should meet, or the government should summon them. That at least let people get in for now, then you sort it out. Whether you go to reduce the fees. You cannot just put it at 100%.
But the timeline,
Yes.
Mr. Sobowale, because this is unfolding as we were. What timeline would you say would be safe at this time to act if not things might escalate?
It depends on the tempo of the protests. If the protests die down, it means the students have, typical Nigerians, they have found extra avenues to be able to pay their fees. But if it is sustained, all of us will not be able to move. But what is important, and I keep on saying it, you may laugh at it, is this free education. Some countries spend like Namibia, spend about 9.something% on education. The whole of Europe, America, one time or the other, they have spent substantial part of their GDP or revenue on education, and they are reaping the result of it. So if you ignore tertiary education, this government, this administration, or this society will regret it. And it will create insecurity for us, because when an empty mind is food for mischief and violence. Our youths are our future. They should slash those fees, make sure those students return to work, and then they sort it out amongst themselves. And give the universities, they said they will give them autonomy to look for extra funds, let them do it. But you can't toy with our future by just slamming fees of students.
So, yes. With just 30 seconds to go, I want to know what you would say to those that argue that higher tuition fees are necessary to maintain the quality of education because of what is currently happening, that teachers also have their bills to pay, it's not also comfortable for them. What would you say to those people that make that argument?
It makes sense. It makes sense. The costs, the cost of fuel, so many things are dependent on the cost of fuel. That's a reverberating effect. For some people have said that when they give Unilag or some universities, we have about 10 billion or something per month, that they can't even pay their electricity bills from that. So government should take cognizance of that. You can't just abandon university education. It's not done. Our future will be in jeopardy. So let them take a second look at it, stem the tide of the protest so it does not get out of hand. And then maybe they manage it like we have been able to survive the fuel subsidy abrupt increase, on which the NLC has just been fuming but has not been able to really do anything. But they should stem the tide of this so that it doesn't get out of hand. Our youths are our future, and university education It's very vital for economic growth.
Absolutely. I don't know who could have said it better.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Arise News analyst, Mr. Dayo Sobowale. It's always a pleasure to have you here on News Day.